Hello everyone and welcome to my little corner of the internet. My name's Michael and I'm bitten by a radioactive book. Today I'm here to bring you a review of Kings of the Wyld by Nicholas Eames, a book where a band of old mercenaries comes together for a final time to rescue the daughter of their frontman, Golden Gabe. This story is a third-person narrative exclusively called from the point of view of Clay Cooper. Imagine like the Keith Richards of mercenaries. And his former boss and frontman, that's an actual term used in the book, Golden Gabe, maybe the equivalent of like Mick Jagger, um, comes to him and asks him to go on a final mission to bring back the band together and rescue his daughter, who has become a mercenary herself and is trapped in a city that is under siege by a host of vicious monsters. So Clay and Gabe are trying to find the other mercenaries and, yeah, go on this rescue mission. I had a lot of fun with this book. So the characters of Golden Gabe, Clay Cooper, Arcadius Moog, who's the gay mage of the band, Ganelon, a powerful warrior, and Matrick, Skull Drummer, I think, Skull Smasher, damn it, I don't remember that, who actually has become a king. So it's kind of interesting to see how they are actually able to persuade like everyone and get everyone back together, which takes about the first third of the book before they go like on a romping adventure where they slaughter themselves through like a whole Dungeons and Dragons compendium of monsters. Really. So I haven't seen so many like fantasy creatures and monsters and tropes put together in one book. So you would imagine like this book is either like very dream wish fulfilling like heroic epic fantasy from the 80s, or it's like over the top humor um, like a Terry Pratchett, but it's not. It's like its own thing, mixing these two things very cleverly together, really knowing what the author's doing, and adding a lot of like Joe Abercrombie grimdarkness to it. And that's brings out something rather unique that has like meaningful moments, that has a lot of fun, and yeah, that is basically just an enjoyable ride and a book that has, I think, a very uplifting spirit, and I really enjoyed reading it. One of the things that impressed me is how the author included the humorous elements. There's like various pop culture references if you know where to look for. There's music references, there's like video gaming references, there is like fantasy general references, but they're like used like rarely, and when you spot one you're like, yeah, I know what you did there, and that is like a satisfying feeling. Some are less well disguised, others are well disguised. I don't think maybe that I got like everything. I especially think there are like more rock music references in there that I might not have gotten. I like the way that the bands of mercenaries are actually like treated like pop stars in this kind of society, and that there are a lot, yeah, or like rock stars actually, and that there's a lot of like references to that rock star life, and the image you have of that, the words like choosing the actual word frontman. There's a couple of times the mention of bringing the band back together, and yeah, so you always have the feeling of reading yeah, maybe a biography of a rock band, but it actually, instead of playing music, slays monsters. So that's awesome. Overall, this was a clear 5-star read for me, and I can't wait to read a new book by the author Nicholas Eames. I don't actually know if there's going to be a sequel, it sounded like this just from that this is actually called, I think, the first book in a series called The Band. On the other hand, that book totally stands as a standalone. It wraps up its plot, there's closure at the end, so if you're just looking for a book that you can dive into, enjoy thoroughly, and yeah, end without thinking about, oh my god, I need to wait for that cliffhanger to be resolved next year, you can actually do that, and that is awesome and enjoyable, and you should really go and read this book. So that's it from me. I hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, please hit the like button. If you want to see more of me, subscribe to my channel. And until next time, I hope you get bitten by a really good book too. Maybe Kings of the Wyld. Bye.